Oh, we know how you like it. Raw and uncut with DJ Baker.
Go out there, man. Do your thing. All right, go get it.
Oh, here we go. Let's get into it, everybody. It's time for the BIGO boys. Yes. You know why I'm excited about this one? Even in the aftermath of this relationship, it's still not the same as, other toxic relationships that we've seen. And I know, I saw a say talking about this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Say So's getting to it too. I was like, okay. So Say So, said how he felt. He was coming pretty hard on Rico Pruitt on this side. I'm more coming down on Cam. I know that Cam has a history, and so some people just expect, people to be, a certain way just to deliver a certain result. That's just a fact of life. I think that, I think Rico Pruitt kind of knew a little bit of that too. You know what I mean? And I remember him saying, I was doing, I didn't really want to jump in, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty damn young and stuff. And let me tell you something. Every time I see other people try it, you know what I'm saying, and not succeed, I feel how lucky I really am. Can I just say thank you to Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, or whoever else was involved in making this happen. But, I'm one lucky motherfucker. Okay, I'm one, I can say it. Okay? Sometimes you get lucky, you know what I mean, in life. You put in the work, you put in the hard work, you know what I mean? You get it out, And it didn't work out for Rico Pruitt this time, though. Okay, it did work out. So we know RiKam is no longer. Remember I told you they broke up. It was a very quiet, soft breakup. It was as soft as they got together. You know what I'm saying? They got together soft. There was a soft launch. We didn't know. All of a sudden we just saw them two together, and it was like, oh, they're together. They went out. They did the outside thing. You know what I mean? So it was a soft launch from the beginning, and it was a soft goodbye. It was a pretty soft goodbye. It was just I'm single. Now, I was tagged in one of Cam's lives, but I was not available at the time. I don't sit by my Instagram, people. I know. I'd love to. I'd love to just sit by Instagram all day. I'd love to do that. Is there a job that I could do that at? That's all I could do is just sit by my Instagram all day. Because I can't. I just can't. There are other social medias, you know what I'm saying? I got to get to those. I got a limited amount of time per day to get to everything, you know what I'm saying? You got to have a full rounded day, you know what I mean? It's only a certain amount of hours in a day, okay? So I missed that information from Cam. So this is what we were talking about earlier, right? What we're seeing now is Rico Pruitt shoving the fact that he's moved on into the zeitgeist and into Cam's face. This is what Rico Pruitt's going to do, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out. I'm always going to be on the side of Rico because I think Rico is someone who navigates this this group of people. He navigates within this group. And he navigates it very well. You may not like his decisions. You may not agree with all his decisions. But one thing is always going to be true. Rico's going to come out of it on top. You know what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying over there? Do you hear what I'm saying? You think Cam was going to somehow, affect Rico Pruitt's status in this game? Are you kidding me? I think that's why little people are feeling like, why are you even coming out and saying anything? Well, that's because he's got this new man that's got to give him a battery in his back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Do we know who this man is other than Flame the Goat? Do we know what this man is? Is there a name? I went to his profile. You said it was private. I got the same thing. Did he accept your thing yet? No. So I guess whenever he does, then we'll figure out. Is any one of the people in the mafia, any one of you guys connected? None of you guys are connected, huh? That's interesting. And maybe three of you are definite should have known, and none of you know who he is. Well, you said you've seen him before. but you don't know his name and all that. Okay. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Cam is also staying laid low. I haven't seen him on BIGO. I haven't seen him on, is he doing anything on Twitter? Nothing, right? So we don't know. I mean, he supposedly, from the video that Rico put out, going in on him, talking about, that was his own clothes and that was his clothes and everything, which we all knew that was happening because he said it. He said, I'm buying him things. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Cam came into the relationship with a full-fledged job or nothing. He didn't have anything going for him. Remember, he was out on, on the whole stroll. Now, let's call it what it is, bro. I mean, I'm not judging him for it. We all got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? It was Rico Pruitt that came in, picked you up off the home stroll, and said, "Hey, bro, let's go. Let's clean it up. Let's do this together." You know what I mean? Come on. That's what this was. This was an opportunity, but it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't there, and he enjoyed Rico Pruitt taking care of him. I don't think there's anything wrong with Rico Pruitt did. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you got it, you know what I'm saying? You want to show a certain type of person that you are, you're going to be that person regardless. No one's going to tell you what to do. No one's going to change you just because, you know what I'm saying, you in this demographic or you in this group over here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said he navigates and always stays true to who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's always been about one partner. He's always been about being monogamous. Doesn't necessarily mean, he ain't going to spread it up and spread it wide. You know what I'm saying? And do what he needs to do to get what he needs to get done. You feel what I'm saying? You got to respect someone with that type of, mentality coming in the game. And I'm hoping that Cam learned a couple of things from the G. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Cam, for real, can we get Cam to at least give us some information of why they broke up? You know what I'm saying? What's he doing now? You just tell him to do a video on his social media or something. Something we can go off of or something. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, why not? Give us an update of where you're at. You know what I mean? Why not? People want to know. You know what I mean? Some people are actually Cam fans. I don't think he's the worst kid in the world. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot worse. I know a lot worse. You know what I mean? But let's just, some people say that he went in it using Rico. And if he did, I think Rico was prepared for that. You know what I mean? Rico's not a victim. He's not acting like a victim. You know what I mean? He's out here saying, no, I'll move the hell on. Actually, now I got this bully, this bully man. My new man is a bully. You know what I mean? They're both bullies. But you know what? He loves that. Shout out to Rico. He's got a type. You know what I mean? He likes a man who's not going to just shut up and sit in the sidelines. You know what I mean? He wants someone to speak up all the time. He gives me that type of person who wants someone to be yang. You know what I'm saying? You handle that, babe. You know what I mean? Let me go get the car. I'll go get the car. I'll come back out. Trust me, we'll have free food and a $12 gift certificate from Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say another store, but I was like, no, don't say that. So shout out to Rico Pruitt. Can we give Rico Pruitt a basket of edibles continuously, right? I think we need to make him a part of the mafia, to be honest with you. I nominate him. Like the G, bro. It's a G. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And shout out to Cam. I don't think Cam comes out on bad on this end either. You know what I'm saying? Papa's a Rolling Stone. He needs to do what he needs to do. He's moving on to the next thing. You know what I mean? And so they said a couple of things about each other. They didn't say anything about each other's status. They didn't go off and talk about each other's mothers or anything. So you know what? To me, it's mano a mano. You have a little argument, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You move on. These two will be over in about another week. You know what I'm saying? And then, even if it does, I don't think it'll get nasty. At least so far, it's not getting nasty. But we'll see, okay? We'll wait for Cam to give us some type of, message from in a bottle or something, okay? All right. Thank you. Download the Weird You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. Shout out to Rico Pruitt and Cam. I like this breakup even. I'm a fan of even their breakup. Look at that. This is the best day ever. Where else could you get that? You know what I mean? Where else could you get that? All right, let's go. On Raw and Uncut, on Real U Radio, the urban sound of pride. Like, comment, and subscribe. There you go.
Oh, we know how you like it. Raw and Uncut with DJ Baker.
Go out there, man. Do your thing. All right, go get it.